right, welcome in once again to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that has always, and I mean always, an instant classic. And on this one, we are going to preview Impact Wrestling Rebellion 2021, which I'm excited about. We talked about it when we did the retro review, that we felt like these newer Impact pay-per-views where they kind of disappeared from or kind of tried to get away from the TNA label, and they introduced some newer pay-per-views, some different names, and added some in. I think they've been really good. If you didn't get a chance to watch that show, of course you can go back and watch it. But I think they've been good. The Hard to Kills of the world, the Rebellions of the world, Homecoming. I'm probably missing one more. I think it was 4 new ones. I can't remember right off the top of my head. I know those are the 3 that come to mind, but of course this one being Rebellion, which I'm very excited about. Overall thoughts of how, my overall thoughts, by the way, DJ here, Justin over there. In case you're new to the show, you don't know the two faces. We are the Impact guys, I guess, for the show. But nonetheless, I'm excited though about this show. I mean, overall, I'm excited to see, especially with the main event. There's a lot of intrigue there. I think everybody is leaning an entire different way, and it would be nice to see a surprise, kind of like we saw with the Moose Rich Swann match. I think everybody was leaning towards Moose winning that match. And then Rich Swann, surprised us a little bit. So, I mean, with that main event, I'm definitely surprised. I don't want to jump too far ahead of ourselves, of course, knowing what the main event is. But with Kenny Omega and Rich Swann, it should be fun. The build-up's been fun. They've been promoting it like crazy. One of the things that I've just been, while we're kind of on a random thought or just kind of discussing initial thoughts on things they've done, is I don't know why, and it would be weird to see Kenny Omega win that match because AEW hasn't promoted this at all, rarely. So my thing would be, if AEW hasn't promoted it and Kenny Omega shows up on AEW television with the Impact title, that makes no sense. Like, how much sense does that make? If, let's just say I don't watch Impact, I'm a diehard AEW fanboy, or just a diehard AEW fan. No offense to AEW fans. But you know what I'm saying? I'm a diehard AEW fan. And I have no idea what's going on in Impact because I don't want to watch it. There's a stigma with Impact. I'm not going to watch it. I don't care to watch it, right? I don't have Access TV. I don't feel like watching it on Twitch. So if Kenny Omega comes in to the main event, wins the main event, it almost doesn't make sense, right? Like, it seems like where they're leaning, but at the same time, it almost doesn't make sense because if he shows up with the AEW championship around his waist, not the AEW, well, of course, if he shows up with the AEW championship and the Impact championship around his waist, if I'm an AEW fan, I'll be like, well, how did that happen? Which is an interesting surprise, but you're already showing us as fans that you don't care if he wins it because you haven't promoted it on your show, which has been an issue for me. And that was something that just came to my mind. The not promoting this match on your show at all has been an issue for me.
Actually,
since
they did promote it a little bit during. Well, I was watching AEW last night, but it was like during an ad, so they had like a little side by side, and you're like, "Oh, this Sunday, Impact Wrestling Rebellion," And
that's what I'm saying. Like, you got Impact over here saying this is the best match we'll ever see in our lives. You got AEW saying, well, he's going for the Impact title. Okay, cool. Like, there's no consistency with it. You can't work with another company. I'm not like, look at Ring of Honor and New Japan's relationship when they work together. I don't know on the New Japan side how they promote it. But I know for a fact Ring of Honor says, this guy is going to be in the G1 Climax or the Battle of the Super Juniors. I've heard it, and I don't even watch Ring of Honor like that, but I know they in some way promote it so like, okay, this is why this could happen. This is why they could come home with some sort of trophy or something. And like, for me, if I'm an AEW fan, why the heck do I care about him winning the Impact title? Right, and that's been the disconnect with me. Like, I think seeing Kenny Omega on Impact has been fun. Seeing the Good Brothers on AEW has been fun. But at the same time, there's so many inconsistencies in the booking. I don't like it. I
agree.
Impact is promoting this as the greatest thing ever. It's up here for Impact. But AEW is like, well, yeah, and he's gonna challenge for the Impact title. It's like a whisper, you know. It's like they're not even, and I don't like that because it makes it. I think my personal opinion, it makes AEW feel like they're better,
more dominant, more superior. Like they think that, you know, even though, you know, Impact's been around for like 20 years, like they don't want to give it the credit. They go like, oh, is this another WCW or it's a, but you know, Impact has lasted longer than WCW, which is crazy. People, and you know, people love to have that stigma on Impact, say, oh yeah, dude, this company is terrible, yada yada yada, like from the past stuff that they've done. And I feel like AEW is just trying to bury Impact. And how do you think this whole like co thing has been going with Impact and AEW?
It's been going. It's not been equal. Mm-mm. Like that's been my biggest issue. Like Impact will have this guy, that guy. They'll have they had Private Party on the show. They're like, oh, this is Private Party. Kenny Omega comes. Oh, this is Kenny Omega. And then, like, besides maybe the Good Brothers, nobody has been has went to the other side and done anything. Not even a one-off, nothing like that. And it makes me feel like I don't like it because it seems like AEW is trying to bury Impact, which is fine if that's what you want it to be. But Impact should also stand up for themselves, right? Like Impact should also be like, hey, we're 20 years into this, so you can shut up.
Put some respect on our name.
Like that's been my issue. My issue has been AEW has been acting like they you would think AEW was a 20-year company at this point, right? Whereas Impact has been the one that's been around for 20 years and had the ups and downs and all that. AEW has barely even sniffed anything Impact has ever done. So it's like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like them both, but I just don't like the way that they're doing it because to me, especially when it comes down to the main event, that's supposed to be this big deal. I don't think it's going to make sense if Kenny Omega wins the match. But then all signs, the way that they promote Kenny Omega point to him winning the match.
I mean, look at this logo up here in the corner with the Omega up there. I mean, with his logo.
I mean, if we put this up, you can see it right in the middle of the screen.
Right in the middle, right there.
It's just like, and this is like it's always just been a star. There's never been an Omega, symbol attached to it. So I don't understand it. That's the disconnect for me. I'm excited for the show. I think it's going to be a great show. I'm excited for the main event, but me taking my mind out of the like. If I'm on the other side, I barely watch AEW, right? Because I do. I barely watch AEW, and I watch Impact. And if the roles will reverse, right? The roles will reverse, and Impact, no. And AEW was promoting it like crazy. Impact wasn't promoting it at all. And Rich Swann showed up with the AEW title, I'll be like, oh, that's cool. Well, how do you do that? Because I feel like I don't have any idea what's going on. You're not keeping me in the loop, per se. And I'll be like, well, I mean, what's the AEW title to me if they wasn't even promoted on the show? That's just me. That's just my opinion on that. And I hate to keep harping on it, but it's just it's bad booking.
I agree with you. Like, I definitely agree with like everything you said, like about being one-sided and all that. I don't know. It's just it's been really weird. I mean, I'm excited for these matches, but like. Yeah, I mean, it's just been like booked one-sided, and it's crazy. I just don't understand why Impact is getting buried the way they are. I mean, it's because I get that bad
on everything, on the little bit of on the little bit of like that little tiny those little short ads they do. They bury them in that. My thing is logically, like just from a logical standpoint, because it's not like Impact came in and or AEW came in and invaded Impact, right? Then you can like then okay, it makes sense to talk bad about them because they invaded your company. No, like you went into an open partnership with this company. So you're trying to tell me that it makes sense for you to bury that company at every turn? No, because you went into an open partnership with this company, supposedly. So, yeah, but that's just me. And I have more to say about Omega and his booking so far too a little bit later, but I won't get too much into it.
Want to get started with the first match? Let's go.
Yeah, let's hop into the first match. So the Impact Knockouts Tag Team titles, Fire and Flava, the champions, going up against Jordynne Grace and Rachel Ellering, who just debuted on the Go Home show. Actually, as this recording is Thursday, just now, like moments ago, on TVs. But this is a match I'm excited for. I want to see what Rachel Ellering does. I want to see how she performs because it's been a while since we've seen her. I don't think we've seen her since the Mae Young Classic. I think, right? Wasn't she? She was in that.
I'm pretty sure she was.
Time? Yeah. Yeah. I know she was signed for NXT for a little bit, but I don't.
She was in AEW for a little bit also.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that's kind of cool. It's cool to see her. I don't know much about her. Of course, I know she's Paul Ellering's daughter and all that, and that's cool. But in terms of who she is as a wrestler, who she is as a character, I don't have any idea per se, and I don't know if anybody really knows a whole lot about her. I haven't seen much of her personally, but I know she's good from what I've heard and what I've seen. But in terms of like character wise, I don't have a clue. But I hope Fire and Flava retain. But something tells me that Jordynne Grace and Rachel Ellering are gonna win this match. But I feel like this should be the start of this feud and not like the end or like the climax of this feud because number one, how do we know Jordynne Grace and Rachel Ellering can even work together if this is their first time tagging? And number two, we've seen that Fire and Flava, Fire and Flava are a very good team. They're very well versed as a team. They know how to work together. They know how to break things up. They have that tag team chemistry. So logically, it wouldn't make sense to me. I'm going with Fire and Flava on this one. What's your thoughts on it? Which is a tongue twister, by the way.
After seeing what happened tonight on Impact with, I think it was Jordynne Grace. No, she lost the match, or I'm pretty sure maybe she won the match. I can't exactly. Did she win the match?
I don't know. I just saw Rachel Ellering come in. I didn't necessarily see.
I think it was the it was Fire and Flava. They did end up getting the victory over Jordynne Grace, and then after the match, Jordynne Grace got beat down, and then we saw Rachel Ellering come out, and they basically get the advantage on him, which I feel like I don't know. It wouldn't make sense to take the titles off of Fire and Flava, but I just have a feeling in my stomach, like a pit feeling, like that Fire and Flava are going to lose the titles to Jordynne Grace and Rachel Ellering. So that's what I'm going to go with here. But other than that, I don't know much about Rachel Ellering here. And there's somebody posted on Twitter. I said, "Yep, we got 2 women versus 2 men." You're like, jeepers, Lord.
Oh.
Lord. Because Jordynne Grace, she does sound like a guy sometimes. Not gonna lie.
She's just a big girl.
You like them big girls. She thick. She thick. But I think it's gonna be a good match nonetheless. So it'd be fun.
All right. Violent by Design versus Storm Sabin, Eddie Edwards, and Willie Mack. I'm excited about this one too, because I'm liking what Violent by Design is doing. Of course, Eric Young is a very good promo. Apparently, and maybe they've already taped the show. I have no idea, but I
don't think they taped this because I think they're going to be live with the show here.
Well, somebody had said EY tore his ACL, so he obviously can't be in this match if that's a true statement. But I wonder, because Violent by Design is always interesting because you never know what's going to happen next. You don't know if somebody's going to join them. You don't know if somebody's going to turn on them. And that's kind of the interesting part of that. In terms of who is it? Storm, Sabin, Willie Mack, and Eddie Edwards. You know, it could happen because they're all like rogue people almost. Like they're all like they've been in tag teams before, but none of their partners are necessary except for Willie Mack, which I guess you kind of put in with Rich Swann. You know, none of their partners are not or with them in this particular match. So you know, anybody can go into business for themselves a little bit. But I mean, I'm intrigued by this match, and I want to see how it's going to go. I think Violent by Design is going to win because I think they're going to keep them strong. But because who has it been? Cody Deaner has been kind of failing. Kind of failing Eric Young and Violent by Design. So I see him like maybe getting his kind of rise up here. Like I said before, I would love to see Jake Something join Violent by Design and do something with him. No pun intended. I would like to see, something happen with Jake Something because he's kind of just been lost a little bit, I think. And the Deaners, I thought, were a good tag team. And I think a darker version of the Deaners where they're heels and, being led by EY, I think would be good. Do you want to keep adding people to Violent by Design? I don't think so. But it's supposed to be this disease and makes sense. If it's a disease, it's going to take over. Doesn't mean everybody has to be in it, but I'm saying why not have, add Jake Something into it? I mean, I still think when Heath does come back, they could have Rhino turn on Violent by Design and then Heath and Rhino go up against Jake Something, the new Deaners at that time. Uh-huh. And then of course the tag team champions too, but a little bit later on down the road. But I think Violent by Design wins this match, but I don't know. Someone's telling me they won't, but I'm gonna go with them anyway. Violent by Design.
Yeah, because Rhino, he still has that call your shot challenge or whatever.
He has that, and when I was watching the backstage promo, the way they were showing him looked like he was like giving EY the side eye a little bit, too. So it was kind of it made you think a little bit.
True. I think this will be a good match here. After seeing tonight's Impact, the big main event which DJ loves these roll-up type of victories. I mean, Eric Young rolled up Eddie Edwards to get the 1-2-3. So I have a feeling, they're trying to protect both teams, which, after the match, they all start brawling and stuff. So I feel like, I don't know. I mean, I want to keep Violent by Design. I want to keep them, strong and stuff because, this big heel faction. But at the same time, they've been racking up a whole bunch of wins, and you don't want to start having Eddie Edwards and like Sabin and James Storm and like Willie. You don't want to see them guys lose. But I like the point you said with like these guys, Willie Mack and like James Storm and Chris Sabin, like Eddie Edwards. They don't always tag team up together. They're like a big faction. I mean, maybe except for like James Storm and Chris Sabin. They've been tagging up. They've been tagging up every week. I don't know. I'm going to say Violent by Design wins here because I don't want to see them lose a match. I want to see them like keep this momentum going with them. And like you said, once Heath comes back, I want to see Rhino turn on Violent by Design because maybe they could not have a story like, hey, the only reason why I joined you guys so I wouldn't get beat down by you guys anymore. Because that's what he was, or maybe we could see why he joined Violent by Design. Like,
well, they could also like tease like Heath joining Violent by Design and then him and Rhino breaking off. Like they could tease like like you said, that whole if you can't beat him, join him type thing. I think the disease has kind of infected me a little bit, and then have him turn on Violent by Design with Rhino, and then that's how you bring them back together. I mean, there's a couple of ways I could go with it.
There's many ways you go with it, but it's been very interesting though. Very.
Last man standing, Trey Miguel versus Sami Callihan. I want to start with you just because we haven't started with you before in any of these matches. So give you a chance to go. So
this is going to be a really good match here. I like the build to this match also. You know, how Sami Callihan basically has been saying, you know, he doesn't have the passion anymore. And this is just going to be a kick-ass match here. Like, these guys are going to tear this building down. Like, this is going to be an awesome match. But as regards to who goes over here, I think that I think that Trey Miguel is gonna go over here because I feel like I don't think Sami Callihan needs to win here. I just don't. I mean, Sami Callihan is trying to like bring out the fire in Trey Miguel, telling him, "Hey, you know, where's that? I want to see that passion that you have inside of you." It's kind of this reminds me of what they did with Sami Callihan and Rich Swann from like a couple years ago. Or like even last year and stuff, how they're saying, you know, like his little being like his little brother and stuff. But no, this is gonna be an awesome match. But I'm gonna go with Trey Miguel to get the win here. DJ, what about you?
I'm expecting it to be wild. I'm expecting it to be wild more than anything. Sami Callihan always tends to deliver in his matches where there's any sort of weapon that can be involved and will be involved. He tends to bring out every crazy thing he can. So this is going to be good. I love both of these guys, and like I said, I think this is good for Trey Miguel to kind of come back into because you know Trey Miguel needs to be seen as a serious worker, and he is, and especially with his promos. I always thought he was one of the best promo guys out of the Rascals. He was one of the best promo guys out of the Rascals to me, and when he was you suck, Casey. When he was when he was in the Rascals, who was he feuding with? Ace Austin is who it was.
Yeah.
You know, it really felt like he was really like the guy, the singles guy out of those guys, and that, of course, that still rings true. I think even now. So I mean, it's going to be good. I think Trey Miguel wins because I don't know. Sami doesn't need to lose everything, but Sami's almost gotten to the point. Sami's almost, this guy's almost gotten to the point where like he can lose and it'll be okay. And Casey, we didn't give you an invite because all you're going to say is, I don't really care about this match. So yeah, I don't know what's going on, and I don't really care about this match. So next match, that was going to be your helpful insight to the preview, but I'm going with Trey Miguel.
Yeah. Okay. What's the next match here? Bam. We got Brian Myers versus Matt Cardona. Oh, DJ, thoughts on this match? You got winning here.
About friggin' time. We finally get this match.
Also, did you see that promo tonight that they were doing? Matt Cardona, he finally took off his eye patch, and he made a reference. It was like, I could see clearly now, like, or he made a reference to Edge, like basically Edge there. I was about to call you during that. Like that was a dope promo he was doing. Definitely gotta go check that out if you missed that.
Casey, you didn't give a pick. Leave your pick in the comments. You didn't leave a pick, don't it? Come on, you gotta be quicker than that. Yeah, I'm excited about this one too. I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be a very exciting match. Oh, my invite. Justin, send this man a link, please.
Gotcha.
So I mean, I'm excited with Matt Cardona and Brian Myers. I like them, and I think they bounce off well with each other just because they are friends and they know each other, so they have that kind of natural chemistry already. So I like it. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, and I'm definitely excited about how this is gonna go. In terms of who's gonna win, I think it's got to be Matt Cardona. I don't feel like Matt Cardona has done a whole lot so far in Impact. So I mean, I'm excited. I'm going with Matt Cardona. And Casey, no, you can't get the full access. It's not my fault.
So we got Matt Cardona and Brian Myers here. I think this is gonna be a really good match. So we got Kurt Hawkins, Zack Ryder. Who do I got winning here? Who do I have winning? I'm gonna say Matt Cardona, just the way they've been kind of booking Brian Myers lately. They've been booking him like really dominant, and at these last few like Impact specials, he's been like getting win after win. So I feel like, and Matt Cardona, he got beat. I think it wasn't at the last one, but it was before. It was like the special before that. He got beat by Brian Myers. He hit the like roster cut on him, which I think that's quite a coincidence. The roster cut. Like, because he got fired from WWE. Both of them did. But yeah, I'm gonna go with not Brian Myers. I'm gonna go with Matt Cardona to get the victory here. Yeah, so give me Matt Cardona. And is this Jobber joining or what?
I don't know. He's probably gonna. He's probably gonna just anyway. Anyway, it's Casey. TJP versus Ace Austin, who is the X Division champion, and Josh Alexander, who is pretty ridiculous. I feel like I don't know. I didn't realize Josh Alexander was as good as he is, but I love watching him, especially out of the tag team aspect now. Like he really transitioned very well. I think this match is going to be awesome. We already know. I mean, with these three guys in it, it's like they've been having singles matches back and forth, and getting a win over the other. And because I think Josh Alexander won against TJP recently, and then TJP beat him earlier. And of course, TJP has like 3 wins against Ace Austin. Ace Austin, of course, is the X Division champion, so he beat TJP. So I mean, this is gonna be awesome. But Ace Austin's winning this match. That's just what it was going to be.
Yeah, this is going to be an awesome match here. I like that match that they had at Hardcore Justice, that big triple threat tag team match, which it was Josh Alexander came on top on that match with Petey Williams, which I like that they've been bringing Petey Williams back, which I'm surprised he wasn't on Impact tonight, but he was on before the bell, but he wasn't on Impact tonight, which I just don't understand why. But I think it's too early to take the title off of Ace Austin here. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do give it to Josh Alexander, because I think he really deserves a title. But no, I'm gonna say Ace Austin retains here. Ace Austin's gonna retain.
All right. Next match is Tenille Dashwood versus Deonna Purrazzo for the Knockouts title, with Deonna Purrazzo, of course, holding the title. This feud, I mean, I don't know if it's been rushed per se, but to me, it's been rushed, and maybe because, maybe it's just because I have been trying to catch up swiftly with Impact lately, but it's felt a little rushed. So I feel like, and they've been slowly kind of building Tenille Dashwood. So I'm gonna still go with Deonna Purrazzo, though. I'm still gonna go with Deonna Purrazzo, even though I think Tenille's gonna finally get the title, but I don't think it's gonna be at Rebellion. I think they're gonna wait a little bit longer.
I think with the little build that this has been getting, I've been interested in this. So Tenille Dashwood, she earned the Summer Contenders match. It was at Hardcore Justice in that like big weapons like eliminator match. It was good. I'm happy they're actually doing something better with Tenille Dashwood instead of like just throwing her in like a random tag team that doesn't make sense. So I'm happy that they're doing that there. But I think it's too early to take the title off of Deonna Purrazzo. And also, I like that they're doing heel versus heel here. Like no one's a babyface in this, so I like that. I feel like maybe like Susan could get involved, or maybe Kimberly could get involved. Someone can help Tenille retain, or heck, maybe Kaleb might get involved and maybe cost Tenille the match or something. I don't know. And then they start like breaking Kaleb with the K and Tenille Dashwood off. I don't know, but it's gonna be a very good match, though. I'm excited for this match.
Me too, definitely. All right, FinJuice versus the Good Brothers. Are they really gonna bring FinJuice in to have the full surprise victory? just to have them lose it back to the Good Brothers. I can see it. I can see it. I can see them wanting to like surprise us a little bit and then trick us, right? They're gonna surprise us and they're gonna be like, yeah, FinJuice. And then they've been promoting FinJuice and showing little New Japan clips like, this is FinJuice. They're juicy and finny. You know, like what? Like this is what
juicy and finny.
Like, and then they're gonna be like, but the Good Bros are gonna win this title back. So gotcha. Yeah, I'm going with the Good Brothers. I think they're gonna get the titles back. I think they're gonna trick us. Definitely, I think they're gonna trick us with this one.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a pretty good matchup, but I don't know. I just feel like
it's gonna be a good match too because they're not gonna let like the Good Bros aren't just gonna go through the motions because they know they're gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be a little bit more of a serious match for them. And
I don't know if this like FinJuice thing is like a full thing for like I don't know if they're going to be over here in Impact or if this is like a little blow off thing and like oh yeah they brought took the towels over to Japan and stuff I feel like they're not going to let two different like companies hold the titles and stuff have AEW hold the Impact title and have New Japan hold the tag team belts. I feel like they're not going to do that. And yeah, so I think that the Good Brothers are going to win back the titles here, which it's going to be an awesome match because these teams have so much history with each other. Going back to New Japan and going back to these recent pay-per-views that they had. So I'm going to go with Good Brothers. So it's going to be an awesome match. It's going to be good.
What is Supremacy? Is that a word?
What's that?
Supremacy? What is
Supremacy?
What is this?
What? Hold on, let me pull that up. What? Supremacy.
I mean, you could always just come in, right, and act like you got full access.
Boom, gotcha. Next match we got.
No, when I restarted.
Okay. So first match we have. This is the opener right here. Actually,
this is the opener. We just restarted the video for Casey. The Impact World Champion. I almost said Kenny Omega. Oh, please no, don't do it. Freud, don't do it, Freud. So the Impact World Champion Rich Swann versus the AEW World Champion Kenny Omega. Winner takes home all the Gizzy Gold. Hey. Number one, they better not give this title to Kenny, darn it. I know that's where they're leaning towards. They're like, yeah, Kenny's the guy. He's the god of pro wrestling. He's Kenny, by God. Oh man, I know. But come on. No, don't do it. AEW fans don't even know what's going on right now. They don't even know this match is happening currently, okay? You can't do it. It doesn't make any sense. Don't do it. Give it to Rich Swann. Surprise everybody because everybody's like, you know what? Kenny's going to win this match. Kenny's going to win this match because they've been proclaiming Kenny this and Kenny that. They even got the Impact guy, the backstage guy for Impact to be right by Kenny's side. Come on. No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It can't. Rich has got to win this match. Booking wise for this match, like I said before, I don't like the fact that AEW hasn't promoted this at all. It doesn't make any sense if Kenny wins. Number two, Kenny's just been awkward on the mic throughout this entire process. He did that. He cut that promo in the ring with Don Callis, and he was just saying stuff like Tootie Two, or I don't know. He said some stuff that just didn't make sense, and that was so irrelevant I forgot it. Please let Don Callis talk for him if you're gonna let him do anything. And freaking, it's crazy though, because when they try to let Kenny be the comedian that he is, which probably doesn't make him any money, so don't quit your day job. When they try to let him be like this funny, like witty guy, it's terrible. But then in the freaking press conference they did last week, and he just talked as Kenny Omega and talked about being the best and talked about how Rich isn't ready for the moment. I've been here before and all. I was like, this is actually pretty darn good, Kenny. I didn't know you had it in you. So, like, my thing is, please, like, just give me this. Like, if you're gonna give the title to Kenny, please don't. But if you're going to, let Don Callis talk for him. And when he does talk, let him be natural and not weird and awkward and somebody's weird uncle. Like, let him just be like, oh goodness. Because anytime he talks, and the little bit I have watched of AEW has been terrible. The little bit he's talked on Impact has been terrible. Don could promote this poll that's right here in front of me to me right now. Like, that's how good Don Callis is. Let him talk for him. But dang on it, Rich Swann better win this match. That's all I'm gonna say. Rich Swann, like, I get it. Moose just came back. It'll make for a great Moose versus Rich Swann rematch if he loses. But either way, it'll make for a great Rich Swann versus Moose rematch if he wins. Come on. Like, you've been literally sitting here putting over AEW this whole time. Finally put yourself over. Please. Finally. Do it. Thank you. I am done. Because Rich Swann's got to win this match. He's got to. Surprise me, Impact. Don't do the predictable thing. Surprise me. Because once Kenny Omega does win the title and he shows up on AEW, the fans are going to be like, wait, what? Huh? I mean, that's cool, but wait, Impact's still alive? Like, trust me, it's going to happen. Anyway, we're not here for your commentary, Casey. That's why you're not on the show. How about that? Boom roasted.
That's why you're not here. Boom roasted.
Pops up in the thing.
Pops up. You're like, I'm here, guys. Oh man. CR O'Malley, where you at? Can someone get rid of this jobber Casey? I don't know who's this Casey guy. We need
like CR O'Malley anyway.
I like it better.
Casey's a bum.
Who's that bum? Cassie. Chase? Who's Chase?
Yeah, you got your name spelled wrong anyway.
But no, this is going to be a really good match. Like, see, I feel like the story that they're trying to set up here is have Kenny Omega, be that big bad old heel he is, take the title away from Impact. And I don't know, are they still going to have if whoever wins the match have Kenny Omega or Rich Swann carry all three of those belts?
I don't know. I forgot Rich Swann was carrying all of them, which is funny. Another awkward moment was in that press conference when Kenny was talking to Rich Swann facing the non-existent crowd that was in front of him. I was like, you're talking to Rich. Turn to Rich. Like he's right beside you.
I mean, I like what they were trying to do there with the press conference.
The press conference was good. Don't get me wrong. The press conference was good, but and now for some insight from Casey. The press conference was good though. Like that was the thing. Like the press conference was good, but there were some moments in it that were weird. Like, I mean, I think that was the best Kenny Omega promo I maybe have ever seen from him in his life, because I don't listen to Kenny talk very often. I'm so used to just watching him work, and that's been about it. So,
no, but I think this is going to be a really good match. I hope they kind of do a redesign for the Impact World title, because I feel like they're going to, since they unify the titles, like I feel like they're just going to bring a new title out eventually.
They're going to put the Impact sticker on the TNA World title.
Yes. Oh, that'd be interesting. That'd be some lazy creation there. But everybody in their mama knows that Kenny Omega is going to win here. But what I hope they do here is I hope they bring some more Impact guys over when if Kenny Omega does win, they start bringing some guys to invade. Like bring Moose over. Moose could turn babyface here a little bit, like not really babyface, but kind of like be the man who steps up for the company and take the title off of Kenny Omega.
That's what's weird to me though. Like Rich Swann is such the let's get another word from Casey. Rich Swann is such the Cinderella story of all of this. Like if Moose was gonna win, like I could like if Moose would have won the title for title match, I could really feel like I could really feel like Kenny Omega wouldn't walk out of this match with both of the titles because Rich Swann, I think, is great, but I don't see AEW ever promoting Rich Swann in their lives ever. Moose is just different. Like, I mean, he's huge, he's athletic, like, and like, I don't know. I just, the obvious thing for them to do is to give the title to Omega because they've just been promoting him like crazy. But then, like, wouldn't that be the great surprise for Rich Swann to have all three of these belts just roaming around, or whatever? I don't know. Like,
and he shows up on AEW that next week with the titles. That'd be amazing. But then people go like, "Oh, there's a guy from WWE," or like, the people that don't watch Impact go like, "Oh, what's this guy from? Can you handle this?" I don't know. I don't know why they haven't them show up on AEW. Like, I just don't understand because what do they think it's going to get a bad reaction here?
AEW is too big for their britches. They feel like so. Is that the saying? I think that's the saying.
Yeah, that's the saying right there. They're too big for their britches. Yeah. No, but I got Kenny Omega winning here. I mean, everybody in their family knows that Kenny Omega's going to win, even if you don't watch wrestling.
Casey, you can come on here and use our insight on Impact to give your picks. We've been letting you comment this whole time. We should block you. Can we block Casey from the podcast page? How we do that? Let me see.
How we do that?
Block user.
Oh, Lord.
They're gonna be like, wait a minute, ain't that the guy who goes to show with you? Anyway, anything else you got on the main event?
No, that's all there. Okay. Okay.
This man. But anyway. As always, I'm excited for the show. I'm definitely excited for this show. I think it's going to be good. It should be it should be a really good show. I'm really excited. As always, you can always listen to us on several different platforms: Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and several others that are out there that we never promote, but they're on there too. And if you don't like watching us on Facebook, you can also watch us on YouTube as well. Casey, is CR O'Malley still running that special on his shirts, or is that over? Just so we can have a relevant comment for the. But anyway, before you can even type that out, definitely hope you guys enjoyed as always. We will see you guys on the next video, which I don't know if it's going to be a review of the show, if we're going to do some sort of discussion of some sorts coming up as well. But Justin, any final thoughts on Rebellion besides excitement, of course?
Yeah, I'm just excited for the show. I mean, what match do you think is going to be like the best on the show?
Let me see. I think it's going to be main event because I mean, Kenny sucks most of the time. No, I'm kidding. As much as I'm not a huge fan of Kenny Omega in terms of on the mic, I mean, I think he's a good worker, and I think Rich Swann will definitely carry his weight too. So I'm expecting this one, but like something is leaning me towards that triple threat X Division Championship match too. Because anytime those three guys get in the ring with Ace Austin, Josh Alexander, and TJP, anytime they get in the ring, it's just good stuff. I mean, you can't not go with that one either. So, but it'll be one of those two.
Something's leaning me towards the last man standing match because with the history these guys have with each other, with Sami Callihan and Trey Miguel, like they're just gonna tear the house down with that match and the main event. This whole show, this whole card looks pretty good. I mean, these past 3 years,
it's a good card.
these past 3 years with Rebellion, they've been pretty good shows. Which I didn't even know that they did a show last year for Rebellion. Like that's when the pandemic like first started. Which apparently they just did like on free TV. Which I need to go back and check that show out again because I didn't even know they did that last year. They did like 2 nights, which that's what a lot of wrestling companies did. But I think it's gonna be good though. I think it's gonna be good.
But anyway, as always, like we said before, you've been seeing it on your screen below. The several ways you can listen or watch if you would like. Until next time, of course. Appreciate Justin, of course, for coming by. Appreciate DJ, of course, and Casey for doing whatever he was doing throughout the whole show. Appreciate him, I guess, as well. But Casey, at least give us a like or something. Like at least give us some sort of reaction so we at least can know you were here. But nonetheless, definitely hope you guys enjoyed. Until the next video, of course, this is the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always, and I mean always, and he means always, and Casey means always, and even Adam
means always.
Means always. An Instant Classic. Bye, Felicia's. Oh my goodness, what did this man say? Give it an angry emoji, Casey. Give it an angry emoji. See y'all. Bye. See y'all.